Well, hey everybody, welcome back. Delta Flight Gaming back with more God of War 1. Now, just real quick to kind of super wrap up. With Psyche, she went down, got Persephone's makeup box, opened it up, fell asleep. Eros found her, gave her a kiss, woke her up, much like, the typical Sleeping Beauty, Snow White kind of deal. And took her up to Mount Olympus, tells Zeus and Hera the story. They think it's an absolutely, the greatest love story ever. So then they give Psyche eternal life. That's pretty much how the rest of her story wraps up. So now, we're moving into another topic. Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war. So Zeus and Metis are her mother and father. She had, let's see if I can pronounce this right, Erechtheus and Erechthonius with Poseidon and Hephaestus. She has a few cult titles. She's got it's the goddess of the bronze house, which is Chalciogus. I'm pretty sure I butchered that, but what it looks like. Ergane, E-R-G-A-N-E, it might be Ergane, which is worker. Glaucopis, the shining-eyed. The Parthenus, or maiden. Pelias, the city protector. And the Promachus, I'm not sure. But that is the front fighter. And some significant rituals and sanctuaries that she's got. She's got the Parthenon, the Chalcea, which is it's a festival for Athenian women during which they weave garments, for basically paying a tribute to Athena. And then the Panathenaea. It's another festival in which Athenians, with athletic, military, and beauty contests, as well as processions. This is kind of some of her main attributes. They do a festival about it, towards it. Okay, so here we go with the birth of Athena. She's the daughter of Zeus, as majority of these gods are. And it kind of also explains why, her desire for, wisdom, for war, kind of goes to show, oh, you're Zeus's dad. Got it. And this is, in Greek mythology, it's actually the closest bond between, father and daughter in Greek myth, which is kind of weird that that's the closest one, and you'll understand why. So, this all started out where Zeus is just hanging out, and it's shortly before he meets Hera. And he was married to the Titan Metis, and she was the wisest and the smartest of all of them. She was that's how good she was. She was the wisest and smartest, even out of all the gods. She was like, holy crap, you are smart. Now, remembering back to how Zeus and... I'm just going to kill myself and reset. This is stupid. Now, like I said, if you think back to, how Zeus became the king of the gods, you'll know that, his dad was like, I'm going to eat, and ate all of his brothers, and he was put away and hidden. When they came back to overthrow his father, well, he kind of learned a few things. And of everything, Zeus is afraid of his mom, Rhea. And she had warned him. She's like, hey, look, you're going to have kids. We already know. You like to, dip your wick into anything that moves. So you're going to have kids, and one of them, they're going to overthrow you, man. So when he finds out that Metis is pregnant, granted she's a Titan, he's a god, he just kind of goes all Kronos and just like, yummy, 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 gobble, 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 and eats her up. So you think, well, that takes care of that. I don't have any more kids. I'm good. Life is good. Well, years go by. Clearly, since he's not married anymore, he decides to marry Hera and just, you have a kid, have a kid, have a kid, have a kid, over and over and over. And then, just one day, man, he just gets this really nasty headache. Like if you've ever had like a caffeine withdrawal headache, like those kind of like bad migraine headaches, worse. Just worse. And so he's like, man, I got this really bad headache. Super, super bad headache. So what does he do? He's like, hey, Hephaestus, you're the godsmith of the god of blacksmithing, so do me a favor. Take that axe you got and hit me in the face. Just open up my skull. Please. I need you to do this. So when he does, Hephaestus is like, okay, dude, whatever. Hi-ya! And he cracks open his skull. Well, as soon as he pulls the axe away and you can see the giant cut in Zeus's forehead, bam! Athena just comes flying out. She's an adult. She's got armor. She's already holding a spear. She's ready to fight. She's like, hey, what's going on? It's just one of those things. Like, was it the Disney version? There's the Sisters of Fate, which, yes, there are in the Greek mythology based off of it, but it's like it says, you just can't fight the fates. So she's known as the Virgin Goddess because she technically wasn't really born, in a traditional sense. So she gets known as the Virgin Goddess, which is, it's kind of interesting. So some of her attributes that she has is, both Zeus as well as Athena both have attributes to Metis of being like having very good intelligence, very practical, very cunning. And with her being called the Glaucopis, which, shining-eyed, or as another one would be gray-eyed, it's kind of reference to her being able to like see the whole picture. Kind of that kind of thing. It's like, she doesn't see this side or that side, she sees the whole picture of things. Which, again, if you're familiar with any kind of birds, the owl is also kind of seen as being that all-seeing, kind of very wise and intelligent. Actually, I'm not really sure exactly how that came about. I'll have to look that up one day, just for the heck of it. And some of the other traits that she has, they're more suited to like a urbic or urban or civic kind of goddess, like one of those deities that really doesn't have a connection to nature in an aspect. That's just kind of like she wasn't really one of the the goddess of the harvest or stuff like that. She was just more of like war. So Athena has also been kind of associated with like craftsmanship and things of that nature, and she gets associated with men, which happens quite frequently. And her knowledge is, again, like I said, very, very practical, as opposed to kind of like abstract knowledge of like kind of what is it? What are those things that, like if you have if you were born in a Capricorn, Sagittarius, those kind of like vague knowledge kind of things. It's kind of like she's more specific as opposed to them, not specific. So, and with the fact that she was she's known as the brains for forging. Hephaestus was the brawn, brawn of forging. She was also associated with shipbuilding. She helps Argus build the Argo, who is the hero Jason, who later sails it, which, if you've ever seen the movie Jason and the Argonauts, it's on YouTube. I haven't finished it, but it's on there. She's credited with inventing the plow. Again, not bad, even though she's not exactly known as, having anything to do with nature. It's not really nature, but in a sense it kind of is. She invented the bridle, which is used for driving a chariot. So, again, these people invented some pretty cool stuff, some pretty inventive and useful things. She was also the goddess of tools and craft for, just weaving. Another common trait you'd see in Greek mythologies, craft and weavings. She ends up becoming the patron goddess of people who do all of those activities. So, if you're a big weaver, or if you, plow farms, you're kind of known as, you would look to Athena for, thank you for giving me this plow to make it so I can, till my land and feed my family or feed others. Now we're going to move on to Athena and Arachne. So, going back to, the previous topic about Psyche, she pissed off Aphrodite, 0 health, bronze trophy. She pissed off Aphrodite for just being a hottie. That's it. Just being a hottie. Now, one girl pissing off another girl because she's hot, okay, it happens, whatever. But if you piss off a goddess, you're probably going to have a bit more of a problem. So this is what happened with the story of Athena and Arachne. Now, in the little town of, I want to say it's Lydia or Ladia, it's Lydia, it could be pronounced, I don't know how it's truly pronounced, I can't really remember. There was this woman called Arachne. She was this really good weaver. And the town of Lydia is set in northern Greece. So, and she was, pretty famous for it, like a Da Vinci of her time kind of thing. Hey, check this out. Look at this thing I can weave. And everyone's like, holy crap, you're really good. Yeah, I want 10,000 drachma for it. You got it. She could demand a price for it. So, there's a difference though with some of these artists back then, even today, where man, I'm really good, but I want to keep going. You know what I mean? I want to keep improving myself and be very humble about it. Not so much in her case. She's more of, I'm hot shit. That's just it. I'm hot shit. So that's, even though it's kind of one of those well, she's kind of full of herself, but look what she can do. I might give her a pass because of the fact that, yes, she's very full of herself, but she is a really, really good weaver. And Arachne is just kind of anybody who passed by would be like, hey, I'm a really good weaver. Hey, you, I'm a really good weaver. Hey, you over there, I'm a really good weaver. People are like, okay, yeah, we know, we see you. And she became more and more and more and more full of herself. She would say, oh, I'm self-taught. No one ever taught me. I figured all this stuff out all on my own. Look how great I can be. Hell, I can even beat a god. And that's when someone's ears perked up. Oh, really? You think so? So, word gets out to Athena, and Athena's like, okay, challenge accepted. So, because of the fact that Athena is the goddess of wisdom, she's going to be like, all right, when I beat this chick, I'm not going to go light. I'm going to teach her humility. You know, it's just what you got to do. It's kind of one of those, as opposed to just like, oh, I taught you a lesson. It's more of, I taught you a lesson, and then while you're down, I'm going to kick you too. So, what Athena does, she ends up turning herself into this old woman, which happens a lot in Greek mythology, where it's just like, check this out, I'm a god, I'm really beautiful, I'm really handsome. I'm going to make myself look feeble to test somebody. So she goes to Lydia, and, you know, there's Arachne, just out in the public, just kind of like, hey, look, she's doing a little weaving, giving a presentation for anybody who wants to watch. She wanders up to Arachne and tells her something along the lines of something like, you know, look, you're very young. I'm clearly much, much older. I don't have as much experience as you. What I think you should probably do, though, even though I'm not as good of a weaver as you, but I am older than you, you should probably not shit-talk the gods. I'm just saying, you know, if you've ever seen the track record, it's not good. The gods are very spiteful. They like to have these, you know, punishments that are kind of like, oh, wow, you are not screwing around. Like, it's very specific kind of punishments kind of thing. You know, maybe you should apologize to what you said about Athena. I'm just saying, you know, it might be beneficial because, I don't know, maybe she might harm the town. We don't know. Just, you know, be cool, basically. And Arachne's just like, no, GTFO. And throws a spool of thread at the old woman. Just, here, bam, smacks her in the face. So, you know, this very short, very elderly woman starts to stand up, straighten herself out, and then all of a sudden her age starts to wind backwards until she transforms back into Athena. And Arachne is like, oh, shit. Athena's like, challenge accepted. Sits down next to her, and they have a weave off. They see who's the better at it. Now, it goes on. You know, time has passed. They finish up the weaving, the weave off, and even Athena looks at it and is just like, you're pretty good. You're pretty good. And, you know, being very cocky and vain that she is, Arachne's like, I fucking told you. I said I can beat a god, and look, I beat a god. Da-da-da-da-da. Which, you know, pissing off the gods, doing stuff like that, that goes really well with the gods. Always does. So Athena was like, okay, I gave you props. You know, you're really good. Gave you the props, whatever. But since you're gonna be a dick about it, and you really like to weave, how about this? And then, all of a sudden, you know, another arm pops out of Arachne's side. And then another one on the other side. And then two more legs. And she starts to turn, like, get a bunch of hair. Like Robin Williams hairy. And then it just keeps getting more and more and more Wolfman hairy. And then she slowly starts to shrink down in size. And that, according to the Greek mythology, is the story and creation of arachnids. So Athena is like, you know what? I will allow you to keep your weaving skills, but you no longer get to have humanity. You'll just be able to remember, I can weave really good. but you won't remember anything else about it. And it's kind of one of the reasons why, if you look at some of the like more intricate and some of the spider webs that are out there, some of them look really impressive. And if you ever get a chance, right after this, you should watch the video. It's a very humorous video about what happens if you give spiders drugs and then make them weave and make a web. It's a parody because they give one THC, they give one cocaine, and I think they give one LSD. Yeah, you definitely should watch that. That's pretty funny. But we're getting close to, I think, a good stopping point. And I don't want to get too much further into another section and, hey, next topic, see you next week, kind of thing. So I think this is a good point to stop. So you guys have been awesome like always. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe, especially if you're enjoying me going on about Greek mythology.